Hello, this is Anna Schulman with Complete Financials, solving QuickBooks Online questions. And today we're going to take a look at the question that I ran across on QuickBooks community website. It is, let's see, how to apply a vendor credit to an unpaid bill without any new money going out. I am trying to apply a vendor credit to an outstanding bill, but QuickBooks will not let me record the transaction because the transaction amount is zero. Nets out to zero after applying the credit to the bill. So a couple of things we're going to see. Let's go to a sample vendor. The few things that are given is we have an outstanding bill. We have a vendor credit that is not applied towards anything, right? Towards a bill. And what do we see? We still are showing that we currently have an open balance for this vendor. So this amount is going to show up on our accounts payable report. However, both things are going to be present on accounts payable report. We will have bill and a vendor credit, which does net out to zero, but individually these two transactions are still open and they're not applied towards anything. They're not tied together either. So let's say I have another bill for this vendor for a different amount, different date. All right, and it came time to pay that bill. When I'm coming in to create a bill payment for that, this current one for 115 is still outstanding. So we do need to create a transaction that ties these two things together. And at the end, what's going to happen is our balances right here are going to turn into a zero. And our overdue balance is also going to be zero. Okay, so the thing that QuickBooks has available for us is we can either mark it as paid. There is a couple of things. I usually do it a different route, but that is just as good. The only thing here is that automatically QuickBooks is going to check mark these transactions or some few transactions. So you have to be careful with what you're selecting. So go ahead and select the transactions that you're looking for. Okay, you can manually add them and the particular vendor credit. Our goal here is to end up with an amount paid zero, with an amount to credit zero. So we know that this transaction will only tie these two things together. At the moment, however, we can delete the reference number. At the moment, it is by default taking a bank or a credit card account for the payment. All right, let's go ahead and say save and close. And we see the next thing is our bill now has a zero balance. Our vendor credit also has a zero balance, and our vendor portal balance, overdue balance, has also been resolved because we applied this vendor credit to the bill. So when we go and check on American Express card now, what we see is that there's actually no transaction that was sent to this account, okay, set up as a credit card. There's no transaction that's here. We can go back to our vendor, and there's another curious thing we'll see is that when we go to the bill payment, here now it is not even present. So American Express is not selected in there. So this transaction is only being used to tie these two things together. And it creates this record, bill payment, credit card. The other option available to do, if I would to delete this transaction, we could also come in here and say create an expense. Now look what interesting thing happens with QuickBooks because you're reusing accounts payable account. When we are tying things together and adding a bill to this, it turns into a bill payment. The next thing we're going to add that particular vendor credit that should be applied to the open bill. And the same thing happened. Our amount is zero. Our amount in this box is also zero. All it does is it's tying two things together to apply them to each other and cancel out the outstanding balance. And the main part here is amount to credit is also zero. So save and close. This is the same transaction that we just created by going here under the bill and clicking mark paid, right? So when we go back here, once again, the bank or credit account is not present. So there will be no zero transaction going into any of your bank or credit card accounts. And this would be a resolution that I usually use for my clients' books to clean up open bills and apply the vendor credits that are not properly applied. And thank you for watching this video. I hope it helps you. Please let me know any comments or any questions. I would love to hear your feedback. And until next time, be well.